Hello, as always, subscriptions are appreciated if you like my content. Today I'll be looking at Tiny Epic Galaxies from Gamelyn Games from 2015. It's a space conquest game. It's obviously small. It's about 4.5 by 7 inches, inch and a half thick. I'm not sure what the advantages of it being small. It seems like there may be more downside than upside for making it small, but maybe I think the concept is also kind of streamlined, which might be a good thing, but we'll see. The presentation is fine. On the back, some overview. In Tiny Epic Galaxies, the weight of the universe is on your shoulders. You're the supreme commander of your very own galaxy in intergalactic war. You'll be competing with other galactic leaders to colonize the most sought-after planets in the universe. You'll be managing resources and expanding your galactic footprint. Guide your Starfleet wisely, and if you can build the most powerful empire, you'll claim victory of the entire cosmos. I kind of wish it was more based in one galaxy than multiple galaxies. I mean, the Andromeda Galaxy is like 2.5 million light years away, and as far as planets in the intergalactic void, I suppose there could be some in maybe some star clusters or something, but it'd seem more realistic to have it all in one galaxy. And why is it Tiny Epic? Easy entry, high strategy, low downtime, short playtime, high replayability, small footprint. Credits: designer Scott Alms, illustrator William Bricker, editors, game developer Michael Coe, graphic designer Benjamin Schulman. As far as components, first the rulebook, of course, and the objective: galactic empires are competing to colonize newly discovered planets. Earn victory points by colonizing planets, increasing your empire's level. Whoever has the most victory points in the end of this game wins. Includes 5 galaxy mats, 1 control mat, 40 planet cards, 12 secret mission cards, 7 action dice, 20 ships, 5 empire tokens, 5 energy tokens, 5 culture tokens. The rulebook is 12 pages. Here's all the wooden tokens. There's up to 5 players. You have 5 different colors for each player. You have 4 ships for each. Red, blue, black, yellow, green. Each has their empire token, energy token, and culture token. The game is for 1 to 5 players, and there's 5 galaxy mats, 1 for each player, of course. This is where you place your empire token. And as your empire token advances, you look at these 2 tracks. This is the number of ships you have, and this is the number of dice you have. Start off with 2 ships and 4 dice, and then you just move up. For instance, here you'll stay at 2 ships and have 5 dice. And these are the victory points you earn at that level. And here you place your culture token and energy token. You can place the ships here. And this indicates resources produces. And you can play the game solo. It's got a play option called the Rogue Galaxy, and I'll be doing that. There's a lot of other videos out there for doing multiplayer, so I thought I'd look at the solo play. So on the flip side, the Galaxy mat, you have a Rogue Galaxy mat where you track your empire tokens. Makes note of culture and energy effects. Might affect ships. Note about victory points here on the track here. Then you have the control mat and the dice. The dice are all the same. They have 6 unique sides. 6 unique sides are, these two are for acquire resources, for energy and culture. Plants can produce 2 different kinds of resources, energy and culture. When an acquire resource die is activated, acquire one of that resource for each of your ships on or orbiting planets with the matching symbol. It's for either energy or culture. And there's a couple advanced colonization actions on the dice. There's diplomacy and economy. Advancing to the symbol at the end orbit colonizes planet. All ships on the card return to their own galaxy. And then there's an action for utilize colony. Activate this die to perform either the action on your galaxy mat or the action on one of the planets you've colonized. And then move ship. You either land on a planet's surface or orbit a planet. And of course we'll show how they're implemented during the Rogue Galaxy scenario. And there's 7 total dice. Then here's the control mat. You place the dice in the order that you'll be performing the actions, given the number of dice that you can use. And there's also the converter, where if you have 3 inactive dice, you can place 2 on the converter, and by using those 2 dice, you can change the face of the 3rd inactive dice to perform that action. Then on the flip side, there's a Rogue Galaxy control mat. Again, you show the activation bay, and you have to place the die. In this case, you place the dice on there one at a time. Converter again, and Rogue Galaxy action, and Rogue Galaxy actions. We can acquire energy culture, advanced economy diplomacy, move a ship, or utilize colony. Here's the cards with a couple examples. You have the planet cards, there's 40 of these. Then you have 12 secret mission cards, a couple examples of planet cards. Up here you have the resources that the planet produces, either energy or culture. And you can either land on a planet or enter orbit around the planet. When you complete the orbital track, you can either advance in diplomacy or in economy. And special notes about the planet as well. These numbers indicate the victory points for having the planet. And then secret mission cards. Each player gets 1 secret mission card. Here's a couple examples. And you get, shows how you gain victory points. For instance, gain 2 victory points if you've completed your Empire track at the end of the game. I'll be doing the solitaire scenario, which is the Rogue Galaxy scenario. From the blackened steppes of the universe, a rogue galaxy rises from the chaos. Its savage inhabitants have only one mission: conquer all life in the cosmos. Our galaxy's only hope is you, Commander. You alone must lead our empire and use our power to defeat the oncoming rogue armada. If you fail, there will be nowhere safe for us amongst the stars. Here's the game setup. A lot of it's similar to setting up for 2 players, but you're playing against the Rogue Galaxy. Here's the setup for me. It shows this going with yellow. Set your energy at level 2 in the track, your culture at 1. Put your empire at the starting position. Put 2 ships on the board, and these other 2 ships on the track of the ship, on the ship track, so they'll come to your use once you get to that level. In the normal game, you draw 2 secret mission cards and choose one. You don't do that for Rogue Galaxy, but I'll just show that for example. For a 2-player game, I could choose a couple, like for instance Elder, I could gain a couple of victory points if you trigger at the end of the game. But you don't use those for the Rogue Galaxy scenario. And the Rogue Galaxy setup starts with 4 ships. It doesn't start with any culture or energy. Empire is at the first position here. And then you take 2 more planet cards in the number of players, and there's 2 players, so you get 4. Draw them from the deck. And these are the ones I randomly drew at different victory point levels, as you see. A couple will produce culture, a couple will produce energy. And then here's the Rogue Galaxy activation map. Differs a bit than the standard activation map. Still the converter. On the Rogue Galaxy's turn, use the dice known for its current Empire level. And roll 1 die at a time. Place each under the control card and perform that action for Rogue Galaxy. This continues until all the Rogue Galaxy's available dice have been activated. And the Solar player will do it how they normally do the activation bay. And by spending 1 energy in culture, you can force the Rogue Galaxy to reroll a single die before it is activated. You can do this as many times as you have resources to spend. And part of the play is you can follow actions when the other player does them, and I'll show that in play. They're set up, and we'll get to the first turn. In the normal 2-player game, not the Rogue option, but the normal 2-player game, players take turns rolling and activating a number of dice determined by their Empire level. Play continues until one player reaches 21 or more victory points. After that occurs, continue play till the beginning of the starting player's next turn, when the game ends instead. For the Rogue Galaxy Solitaire scenario that I'll be doing, the Rogue Galaxy wins instantly if it reaches 21 or more victory points, or if its Empire token reaches the Skull and Crossbones space on the Empire track. You win instantly if you reach 21 or more victory points. So we'll get into the first turn here of the Rogue Galaxy scenario. I go first and the Rogue player goes. So I'm allowed 4 dice. So I'll roll 4 dice. I have 2 economy, 1 energy, and 1 culture. Then I can re-roll one of those for free, or for each one I roll beyond the free one I have to spend 1 energy. And I'll go ahead and re-roll this one, see what I got. Get another culture. I'll do my activations. With my energy, I'll acquire resources. And acquire 1 of that resource for each of your ships on orbiting planets with that matching symbol. I don't have any planets yet. Also acquire 1 energy for each ship on your galaxy card. And I have 2 ships on my galaxy card, so I acquire 2 energy. And normally in a 2-player game, the other player has the option of following, which they expend 1 energy, and then they can do that same action, but not for the case of the Rogue Galaxy. I would like to move a ship on one of the planets of their orbits, but I don't have a move, so I'm going to use a converter. I'll take the culture and I'll take another culture too. And then from those I can convert the third unused die to whatever I want it to be, and I'll convert it to move. And I'll do that. This planet's kind of easy, so he'll go up there and he'll go in orbit. Effectively, I've used these two to convert, and then I use this for the motion. And when I move the ship here, I can either land on the planet, in which case I immediately perform the action on the card, which would be to acquire one culture, which is nice. Or if I go on the orbital track, once I get to the end of the orbital track, I can colonize the planet, and that's what I want to do, so he'll land on the orbital track. And the symbol here indicates the action that will allow you to move along the orbital track. In this case, it's diplomacy. So I guess by being diplomatic, you're able to work towards colonizing the planet, which kind of makes sense. That's the end of my turn. Then the Rogue Galaxy goes. On the Rogue Galaxy's turn, they have 5 dice. And for them, you roll one at a time and do that action. It's got a movement. Put that on the track. And the way they move ships is you move one ship from the Rogue Galaxy card to the leftmost planet in the row that does not have a rogue ship orbiting, and place it in the orbit starting space. A rogue ship can never land on a planet's surface. We go here. And ships from different players can be in the same planet or orbital track, so it's okay. Then I'll roll the next one. Let's utilize a colony. And for the Rogue Galaxy, perform the action listed on the Rogue Galaxy's current Empire level. Do not use the actions of colonized planets. If the action is listed as only once per turn, any additional utilized colony dice rolled are considered unusable. So the colony action then is I lose 1 energy. He's already down to 0, so it doesn't affect him. Energy. So it's an acquire resources of energy. Rogue Galaxy acquires resources just as if we're a player, except that its Galaxy card produces both energy and culture. At the end of its turn, if resource marker is at max level, one or both of the special actions listed below occur. At max energy, the Rogue Galaxy upgrades its Empire, investing the Empire token 1 space. If it's at max culture, the Rogue Galaxy takes bonus 3 actions. Clear the control card and use only 3 dice, rolling each one performing its action. After all the 3 actions are performed, move the culture cube back to 0. And you can follow these bonus actions. So you produce, it says both energy and culture, and 1 for each ship on there. He's got 3 ships, so he'll have 3 energy. He's got a total of 5 dice, so he goes to the next one. Utilize the colony again. Can't do it, that's what you got, but you're only allowed to do that once per turn. Then the last one, since he has 5 dice. Another move. Then you move to the leftmost planet that does not have a rogue ship orbiting, so that'll be this one. And that's the end of his turn. Now go back to me. I'm still at 4 dice, so I'll roll 4. Got a lot of movement in one culture. I think I'm going to re-roll one of those. Good, I'll expend an energy and re-roll that one again. Not luck. I think I'll use a conversion again since I can't do much with the culture because I don't have any planets that I colonize with culture yet. So I'll take and a move, and then I'll convert one of the dice to diplomacy. And by doing a diplomacy then, I've used these 2 actions too. By doing the diplomacy, I can move this along the orbital track. And then I have a movement. And I'll move him to the orbital track of this planet. That's all my turns. Then I'll go to the rogue galaxy. Still has 5 dice. Roll one at a time. Energy. Acquire resources. Doesn't own any planets yet, but he does have 2 on the planet here. Since he has 2 ships, he gets 2 energy. That's his first one. Next dice. Another energy. So he moves up to the max level of energy. And then at the end of the rogue galaxy's turn, I get some benefits of maxing out an energy. But first we'll do these other actions. I got 3 more dice to roll. A move. He'll move a ship to the leftmost one that doesn't have a rogue on it. So he'll go here. And the next roll. Diplomacy. So he has to advance to all his ships. They're on a diplomacy track. Which is good. He's got 3 of them. And I'll choose to follow his action, and I can follow any action of his by expending 1. I'll do that. And then it allows me to advance. And then by advancing, I've colonized his planet, which is nice. And all the ships on here returned to the owner's galaxy. It's got 1. I have 1, and then you take and you place it under here. We've gotten that victory point. Then you have the card down here so you see what the victory point is and what the actions are. Then you replace that with another planet, which is shown here. So it's on his action. And he's still got 1 more to go. Economy. You can advance his on the economy track, which he's got 1. Last turn. Another movement. He'll move this one up on the track. So he's completed those, but since he's reached his max energy, he had max energy, he upgrades his empire, so he's up here now. And instead of losing 1 energy, he loses 1 culture. First thing. But he's up to 1 victory point now. Moves this back to 0. And for maxing out his culture, gets to take 3 bonus actions. Hopefully that gives you a sense of the play. So that's Tiny Epic Galaxies from Gamelyn Games by Scott Alms. It's got a lot in a small package. It's an interesting kind of development of systems and exploring systems, that sort of thing. I wish it'd be interesting if there was like fighting involved. That would make it kind of maybe towards closer to a 4X game. It's a little bit, I mean, I get how they're trying to streamline it and get some interesting elements. It's a little bit, it doesn't really work for me. It's a little, doesn't have enough theme for it. It's kind of a sandbox sort of game. For a quick play it's fine, but I like a little more complexity, I guess. It doesn't matter to me if it was small or not. That doesn't really affect anything. There's no need for it to be any bigger because they're able to accomplish all they're doing and the size of items they have and all that, and the components are fine. But if you're looking for a quick play kind of galactic conquest game, I think you might enjoy it. For me though, I think I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Thanks a lot.